What a reunion. What a reunion. Even though y'all spoiled most of it in the comments of the finale, what a reunion. Let's talk about it, y'all. What's up, everybody? I'm Tammy. This is Tammy Talks. We're going to talk the Ultimatum Queer Love. This is episode 10, the reunion. All right. If you're brand new to the channel or if you are a returning viewer and you have not yet subscribed to the channel, I hope this is the video that convinces you to change your mind and to subscribe to the channel. If you are one of my returning subscribers, what up, though? Let's go ahead and get into the show, y'all. Whew. So for the reunion, we come in and we see everybody is separated, two different groups, right? So I peeped right away that it was the issuers and the receivers of the ultimatums. They didn't click. It didn't click like that for them, but that's how everything was set up. I thought they were going to do one of those where it's like, okay, if you guys are still together, get up and sit by each other or something like that, but they didn't. We kept everybody separate. Why? Because nobody is... We'll get there. We'll get there. All right. So we start off first with Lexi and Ray. Let's just get right into it. We don't care about the fluff that was going on before. Lexi and Ray. So at this time, at the time of the reunion, they are still together. They said they are doing great. They've been engaged for a year at this point. Traveling, they were living in Philly, where I think Ray is from the East Coast. Lexi is from the West Coast, so they're planning on being bi-coastal. They have a date for the wedding. Lexi's mom picked the date. It's the date that she wanted. Red flag number one. But Lexi's mom picked the date that she wanted. Neither one of them wants to really be involved with that. They want Lexi's mom to plan everything. Red flag number two. So they then, Lexi talks about, or should I say, she takes a little bit of accountability for the situation with Vanessa. So we know that Ray and Vanessa had relations of some sort, little finger popping, finger banging, okay? Lexi talks about when she confronted Vanessa, how, yeah, it was vulgar. She apologizes for her vulgarity. Because, like, you did a lot. You did a lot in that moment. Lexi then goes on to say that in the queer community, everyone defines sex as different, which I guess. I guess. Because here in the hetero world, there's a couple different types of sex, but sex is sex. But I understand what she means. So I guess in the queer community, to some people, the finger action is sex, and I guess to some people the finger action is not sex. What I took from this conversation is, according to, or I guess in Vanessa's eyes, it wasn't sex, and that's why Vanessa reacted that way. In Lexi's eyes, it is sex. Okay. So they talk about that. Ray said that she felt like the worst person in the world for such a long time, and it's unfortunate that Ray felt that way. And I think it's unfortunate mainly because Lexi made her feel that way. Like, remember I told y'all back in my recap that Ray woke up, had a walk of shame to the living room. You could tell she woke up full of remorse, full of regret. Lexi piled on her for that and piled on her. And every time we saw them from that moment, Lexi was, giving it to Ray the best way that she knew how to, which was, doing too much. So Vanessa said that she has always felt the same about the situation. They weren't romantic. They weren't physically attracted to each other. It was just something that happened. Vanessa goes on to say that she could see that it was weighing on Ray, and that's why she tried to use humor to kind of lighten the mood. But she now realizes, as watching the episodes back, that her humor is not always received by most, right? So we find out, or which a lot of us knew already, Vanessa is one of those people that in awkward, tense, uncomfortable situations, they default to humor. That's something that Vanessa has always done. So she said that it is part of her resolution for the year to be more serious. Everything ain't funny. Everything is not a joke. And that's what Vanessa has learned about herself. Lexi and Vanessa agreed to just move on from the situation. Vanessa said, I'm going to stay out of your life. And I love that Vanessa said that because remember, Lexi kept saying how I don't want her in my life. I don't want her in our relationship when she wasn't. So I was glad that Vanessa like threw that back in her face. I was glad that she did that. Like, for real, for real. Because I told y'all know how I felt about it if you've been watching the recaps. I felt that Lexi did too much. Lexi did too much. And that's why I constantly kept saying, Lexi has to remember you wanted to come onto this and do this and do this experiment. And that's not to mean that she can't have feelings about it, but when you put yourself and you put your relationship that in your eyes is on, a thin line hanging on by a strand, don't come and bring your partner who isn't sure about marriage to have them get into a trial marriage again with somebody else that doesn't see it for marriage. We then find out at the end of the episode, we get the black screen update that after filming the reunion, they broke up and the wedding is off. What a surprise. What a shocker. What? Nobody should be surprised. You know why? Because Ray went into this experiment, into this process, not knowing if she wanted to be married. Ray has talked about on several occasions that the concept of marriage is scary to her because it's very finite. You are with this person forever. Ray is a person that overthinks. So Ray doesn't know if Lexi is the person that she is supposed to be with forever. It scared her. You know how Ray left the process? Feeling the exact same way. Ray proposed out of fear for losing her. If you have to bring somebody onto a show to force them to marry you, y'all don't need to be married. 0 for 1 so far. We then get to the Xander and Vanessa part. So they don't talk. They don't talk at all. This is, I guess, their first time seeing each other, but they're not in communication. They're both emotional about that. You got to remember, these were friends in high school. And they're 30, 31 now. So the fact that, they've been friends for so long and they went from being friends in high school, I'm assuming like coming out together, probably being in this like relationship, living together, to at a point Xander wanted to be married, to now no communication whatsoever. Vanessa said it's a huge struggle for her because she thought that they were going to rekindle and fix things. She still loves Xander as a friend, but throughout this process and watching back the episodes, Vanessa realizes they shouldn't be together. It's for the best. But Vanessa never thought that she would lose her friend in the process. Xander realized after watching this how much focus she put on just the end goal. Xander now realizes that she struggled with actually loving herself. I didn't get that from Xander. I thought that Xander maybe didn't respect herself. I felt that Xander's self-esteem was a little shaky. You know what I mean? You're begging somebody to marry you. But Xander has realized that she struggled to love herself. They both agreed there will be no reconciliation. They are not meant for each other as partners. And that's okay. That's okay. Everybody that you date is not meant to be your lifelong partner. There are several men that I have dated that God knows. Okay? No reconciliation. But everybody that you date just isn't meant to be your forever and always. That's just what it is. So Xander is now happy to know that she can probably get her best friend back. She didn't realize how much she missed her as a friend until now. Xander said she went through all these different self-realizations about herself. She wanted to be able to reach out and touch Vanessa. Reach out and touch somebody. Diana Ross told us she didn't have that because they weren't talking. So now that them seeing each other in this arena, in this situation on this stage, hopefully it has opened up a rekindling for them friendship wise. I hope that they can be friends again. I do. I hope that they can be friends because now they have moved past. They know that they are not good for each other. I hope that they can get back to at least the friendship part. It might be there's no pressure now. Nobody wants to get married. We then get to Mal and Yoli. Mal said, we are happily broken up. I said, I know that's right. I know that's right. Black power over here says, I know that's right. Kick Yoli's cheating, disrespectful ass to the curb. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely, because I'm going to read the fuck out of Yoli in a minute. Hang tight. Yoli said it only took about 2 weeks. She said they went on vacation. I guess they got into it on vacation. Mal got a one-way ticket home and started to pack her shit up. Mal said, well, we've been watching the show. She has a history of lying, so. I said, ooh, dig deep, gut puncher, bow. You know why? Because Mal sat and was really giving Yoli the space and the respect to sort out things with Xander. Mal did that. And we all was like, she's playing you, Mal. She's playing you, Mal. Got you out here looking like Boo Boo the Fool. And Mal stood by while Yoli disrespected her constantly. Mal said that when she watched the show, she saw dishonesty. Yoli was like, when was I dishonest? Oh, girl, I can tell you. I can tell you when you were dishonest, Yoli. What are you talking about? But see, we saw Yoli doing this whole who, what? I don't remember. We saw Yoli doing that shit on the show. So, Mal said, let me run it down for you. You were texting me, Mal. Mal said that Yoli was texting her during the trial marriage with Xander, saying, you know what, it's still you. Don't worry about anything. I'm still all yours. Meanwhile, you and Xander fucking every other day, telling each other your I love yous, whispering sweet nothings. Meanwhile, you're gaslighting Mal. And for what? The prophetess Fantasia has said it. If you don't want me, then don't talk to me. Go ahead and free yourself. Fantasia said it. If I was Mal, I would send. I can't. Mal brings up the party, which I asked y'all in the video. Is this part of the culture? Is this what y'all do in community with one another? The disrespectfulness was her holding Xander's hand for so long. All the times that we saw Yoli say, oh, well, I want to go talk to Mildred. No, you over there hugged up, hanging on Xander, acting like a fucking groupie, being a thirst bucket. Don't come in the comments saying I'm being too easy on Yoli, because I gave her the benefit of the doubt a couple of times. We're going to read today. Mal said it felt degrading to her, as it should have. Imagine you're at a party, and I even gave y'all the reference with me. Imagine me being at a party. My boyfriend is right here. I tell him, hey, I'm going to go talk to my homegirl, I don't know, Chelsea. I'm going to go talk to my homegirl, Chelsea. Meanwhile, I'm over there with my ex. And I'm hugged up, and we're rubbing each other's backs, and we're whispering sweet nothings, and we're plotting on how we're going to leave our respective situations. And you say, word, and I'm let's do this. What? It was disrespectful. Mal said it's not even the fact that it's Yoli with another person. Mal feels like Yoli is just a dangerous person to her because she made a fool out of her. What did George Bush say? Fool me once, fool me won't get food again. I promise that's my favorite quote. Fool me once, fool me won't get food again. Mal said that she'll always love Yoli. Yoli is like that cousin that you love but you can't stand right now. Mal then said Yoli and Xander deserve to try. The emotional maturity, just the overall maturity, it's just oozing through Mal right now. Just oozing off of her right now. Oozing off of her. Maturity. Growth. Vanessa said, oh, but they did try. I said, oh. Okay. Yoli said, when? Yeah, stop lying. So then Vanessa was like, okay, Xander, can you back me up? Xander didn't want to dime out Yoli. Xander didn't want to say anything. So then I couldn't tell who it was, but somebody was like, you couldn't wait to bring this up, Vanessa. Come to find out, they hung out at Coachella. They were making it seem as if it wasn't a big deal. We just hung out. We listened to music. It was great. We were just there together. If it wasn't a big deal and y'all just met up at Coachella, why are y'all acting like it didn't happen? Y'all are lying. Okay. Vanessa said this. She also found out that I guess Vanessa and Xander tried to like work it out, which I'm sure Vanessa feels like shit now too, knowing that Xander dumped her to go be with Yoli, who then was like, nope, I'm gonna stick with my original girl, only to like mess. Vanessa said y'all were also planning to go to Hawaii. Mal was like, what? Yoli again tried to lie. We're planning a trip to Hawaii. We were planning a trip. Yeah. Xander was like, yes, we were talking about going to Hawaii. Damn, Yoli. Thought you had a friend in Xander. Xander threw your ass under the bus every chance she got. Every chance. Xander was like, yeah, let me go because somebody's going to pull out some receipts on me. Xander has aged in the face too. I wonder if Xander was stressed. Like after this. Didn't Xander looked older to me. I'm not saying she looked bad, but she like, it looked like, you know, life was lifing for this past year. Mal didn't know about the trip to Hawaii. I know that her inner whatever is just doing the Cabbage Patch. Just yes. Because you were everything that she thought you were. I hate that Mal proposed. I hate it. Yoli starts crying because she is now realizing that motherhood might not be for her. You don't know that. I think that Yoli is crying not because she doesn't think, she might think that motherhood is not on the horizon. What is Yoli, 34, 35? She can still have a baby. Motherhood is still a possibility for you. I think Yoli is crying and Yoli merged into that because the heat is on her. It's hot right now. So Yoli wanted to, let me throw it off. Let me throw everybody off the scent. The fans ain't going. Girl, what? We ain't going? Nah. Catch all this heat. We then get to Tiff and Mildred. And what a fucking mess. Okay? What a mess. What a mess, y'all. Let me wet my whistle for this one. They're broken up. Shockingly. What a shock. Oh my gosh, they're broken up. We are on the fourth couple, y'all. The fourth couple. Nobody is together still. Mildred said she never saw a future with Tiff. She insinuated that Tiff didn't have a job. Tiff said, I had one. I said, wait a minute. What? Wait a minute. Mildred then said that she left Tiff. Tiff said, how are you the one that left? Mildred said, because I physically left the home. Tiff said they had an unhealthy relationship. No shit, Sherlock. Y'all had an unhealthy relationship before the fucking show. Y'all had an unhealthy relationship during the trial marriage. Y'all had an unhealthy relationship with the trial marriage with each other. Why are you shocked? What is the realization now that y'all had an unhealthy relationship? Okay. Tiff thought that they were starting to find ways to communicate. No, you didn't. You didn't want to lose her. That lady sat when y'all was sitting in the apartment, and she told you that there are other reasons to marry. She told you she was never in love with her first wife. You questioned her then. Y'all were still talking over each other. She said, it's because I'm Latina. Okay, girl, shit, I'm black. We talk loud and shit when we talk too. That doesn't excuse me talking over somebody and cutting somebody off. It's not an excuse. Respect has no race. Ain't that what Tiff said? Respect has no race. Mildred said, so why did you move in if you weren't ready? Tiff said, I can ask you the same thing. I said, I know that's right. Because let's be real. Tiff and Mildred, y'all both got the same issues, right? Y'all both have the same issues. Communication is not a strong point for y'all. Y'all both cut each other off. Y'all are both disrespectful as fuck. Y'all are both very clingy. And y'all both just didn't want to lose the other person. That's really all it was. Mildred said that her and Tiff were splitting the rent in 3 because she had a child. Now listen. Listen. When I first watched it, it didn't click, right? It didn't click for me. Then I was like, wait. Tiff wanted the son to pay a third of the rent. Tiff said, I didn't suggest that. Yoli's big-headed ass was like, well, how did it happen? Absolutely not, Yoli. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Not only is this not your segment, but we don't want to hear shit from your lying ass anyways. It's so funny how you can remember this conversation, but don't remember planning to go to Hawaii with Xander. It's so funny that, Yoli, you can remember this conversation, and you can remember that Tiff wanted to split the rent into thirds, but you couldn't remember that you asked Xander for a selfie. But now you just got the memory of a fucking elephant. Girl, bye. Bye. Going back to where you were, Yoli. This ain't your segment, boo. Not gonna happen. No, ma'am. We don't get clarification on why the rent was split into 3s. Absolutely fucking ridiculous. That's ridiculous. That I can't even take a side in that because we don't know the truth about that. But Mildred, you's a fool for paying 2/3 of the rent. I'm going to tell you that much. Because if I'm living with somebody and I have a child and they say, well, shit, you need to really be paying 2/3. What? We then found out that Mildred was arrested. The fuck is going on here? I'm sorry for cussing so much, y'all. But my God, what is going on here? She threw a picture frame and a pet gate. A pet gate. Tiff called the police. Mildred got arrested. They said they were in there punching the walls. Tiff called her a trash mom. Mildred says she comes as a package. She is a mom first. Absolutely. And this is where I am on Mildred's side. Because Tiff said that she did have a problem connecting with her son. We don't know what her son has. Like I said before, I'm assuming he's on the spectrum or something to that effect. But we do know that, excuse me, they have said that he might have to live with them into his adult life, right? What I do love about this is the fact that Mildred always has, from what we can see, is putting her son first. She is a package deal. Not only is she a mother, but she is a mother of a child with special needs. I have family members and like family friends that have children with special needs where they do have their adult children. I think he might be 30 now. She still has to take care of her son because he's on the spectrum. It has to happen. And if you are going to date somebody because of that, you have to accept that child. And Mildred asked her point blank, are you going to be okay with this? Tiff said it would be cool. You have a problem connecting with the son? Maybe y'all didn't do it right. You know what I mean? But I mean, if y'all have been dating, they've been dating for a couple years. I don't know. But I mean, if the child is on the spectrum, and I'm just saying if because I don't know, but if he is on the spectrum, I'm sure there's a way that you have to kind of introduce this. I watched this TikTok. I follow this TikTok account, Shay and Stacy, where it's a woman and her son Stacy he's on the spectrum. He's nonverbal, and she has a girlfriend that comes over and like watching the way that she handles him in regards to the girlfriend and the way that the girlfriend, like there's a way that you got to do shit. I'm not saying that Mildred did it wrong, but I feel like I kind of feel like Tiff wasn't prepared and Tiff didn't have the proper temperament to deal with that. That's what I think. But y'all in there getting arrested and carrying on. The reason we even got to their segment is because Tiff was talking, we did a segment on the dogs, and Tiff was saying how her dog, she spent all Christmas Day, and because Shiloh had to have emergency surgery. Mildred was like, what were those days? Because you were not supposed to be contacting me. You contacted my family. And that's when the host was like, whoa, let's pan over here. Let's move on over. At one point, we hear Mildred say, you don't have that power over me anymore. And then it gets dark. Mildred said that Tiff was bringing women to the home. Tiff said we were broken up by that time. Tiff, I feel like there's no side with this, right? Based on what they're both saying, they both were wrong. Mildred said I had moved out the apartment, but I was still paying the bills there. Girl, why? You the fool? If I move out, I'm taking my name off all that shit, and me and my money in my bank account are moving out. Tiff, do you work? You said you work very quickly. Did nobody confirm it? Mildred said she came home at 3 a.m. and there were sex board games and eyeliner. Mildred said, I don't even wear no eyeliner. I said, oh. Tiff was like, I ain't never needed no toys. I get it popping without any extra. I said, that wasn't the flex you thought it was in this moment. Tiff feels like she's being gaslit right now. Mildred then says, can you stop talking? Because every time you talk, it hurts this ear. It hurt right here at this ear. I said, God damn. Tiff gets up, said this is too much. She walks off sobbing. Away from a weep. Okay? She is sobbing. She goes outside. I said, I know you cold. You got your arms out. You need a sleeve on. I'm all about a sleeve, y'all. I keep a sleeve with me. Short sleeves. When I left the house today, I had a sleeve with me on the way to work and on the way back. Aussie and Sam, who've been quiet the entire time, now they pipe up because everybody else was looking like, meanwhile, like kind of shocked. Meanwhile, Yoli is just. Aussie said that when Tiff brought up the gaslighting, it reminded Aussie of the time with Mildred. Remember, I feel like at one point Aussie felt that Aussie was being gaslit too. I believe Aussie said the exact words of gaslight. Sam said it's a lot of dumping on Tiff right now. She ain't cool with it. So she goes after her. Now, Sam has a bond with Tiff because they were the trial marriage. They had their moments, but she saw some of the growth that Tiff had. That's her homegirl. So she goes out to get Tiff. Yolio apple-headed ass was like, Mildred, do you need some water? No, we need you to be quiet and mind your business. That's what we need. We need you to be quiet and mind your business. How about that? Tiff said what's best for her is to never see Mildred's face again. I said, girl, don't watch the reunion. Don't watch the reunion. Sam is trying to calm her down. She's giving her a hug. Tiff ultimately leaves. She gets into a van because they tell her it's cool out. Like I said, she need a sleeve on. She had on the vest. So Tiff leaves. Take it back to the hotel. Vanessa asks if Tiff is coming back. Vanessa, why? I know that it was like an innocent, very valid question, but it's like, Vanessa, please. Sam was like, no. A very firm no. The host, Joanna, asked, how is Tiff doing? Sam said, as good as she can right now. I said, Sam is fed up, y'all. Fed up. And then Mildred said that she's happy right now, talking about herself. Girl, are you happy? Shit, are you? Are you happy? This doesn't look like happiness. This doesn't look like happiness. You know who looks happy that they're broken up? Mal. Mal looked happy that she's broken up. That's how you look when you're happy and unbothered. Mildred, no ma'am. This is not happiness, sis. This is not happiness. This is bitterness. This is bitterness. This is rage. Finally, we get Sam and Aussie. They are still together, but they're waiting to get married. Sam is now learning to sit with the discomfort that Aussie needs space. Aussie is learning to sit with the discomfort of not taking so much space. So as long as they have come to an agreement on what they're going to do, I really hope that Aussie is in somebody's office, laying on somebody's couch 3 to 4 times a week. Aussie has to work through whatever trauma they have. Aussie has to work through whatever trauma Aussie has. Has to. Because they're never going to move forward in this relationship. I'm talking both of them. When I say them, they are never going to move forward in this relationship if Aussie does not get the proper help that Aussie needs. Aussie's family still doesn't know about Sam or the engagement, but Aussie then points out, not yet. I had somebody in my comments say that because Aussie's family's in Australia, they may never see this show. No, that's not true. Because just like I'm in the USA, we watch the UK versions of shows. We watch the France version of shows. We watch Married at First Sight Australia. People watch shows from all over the globe now. Somebody that knows somebody done told somebody that Aussie is on this show. The Queer Love Show. And that was the reunion. Who'd have thought that the last standing couple would be Aussie and Sam? And I kind of feel like, we can't have no update because, none of these people need to be together. But this was. Let me know what you guys felt about this reunion. This was a reunion. I hate that it came at the expense of Tiff and clearly her mental health and she got dumped on. But this is probably a conversation that Mildred and Tiff needed to have. Y'all been needed to have this conversation. Y'all been needed to get everything out. What y'all really needed was to not get engaged. None of these people should be engaged. Sam and Aussie, sure, fine. Sam is willing to be as patient with Aussie as Aussie needs. But at the end of the day, your ultimatum was not just to get engaged, it was to get married. It has been a year. Y'all don't have no date set. I'm not saying that RC has to fully come out, but the purpose, the end goal of an engagement is to get married, right? Unless Sam is okay with just being engaged. Hey, if that's so, then that's the ultimatum that she wanted. Or she got what she wanted. Marlon Mal should have never proposed. Yoli, no, her old biscuit head ass should have never said yes. Never. Xander not getting with Yoli is probably the best thing for Xander. Xander probably is now learning some self-love. Xander's going to be a better person as a result of all of this that they went through. Lexi and Ray, you'll be fine. Lexi, you're young. You will be fine. Lexi had no business bringing Ray onto this show. None whatsoever. Let me know what you guys thought about this. If you have not already subscribed to the channel, thumbs up the video if you enjoyed it. Share with a friend or two. Hop in the comment section. Let's talk about this explosive reunion. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace.